I need a break. Hey everybody, it's Melly. You might be wondering where I was or what I was up to lately. Or maybe not, because I'm just a random stranger on YouTube anyway, so why would you care about me? After passing my qualifying exam, I immediately went into full student mode. The winter semester started right away, and I felt like I never really had a chance to enjoy the break. Despite that, I still tried to juggle my ACADS and social life while trying to keep my creative gears running. I didn't have trouble doing that before my exam, so why would I have trouble with it now? However, the luxury of time I thought I'd have after passing my exam was nowhere to be found. Or is time really the problem? You see, one of the reasons why I created this channel is so that I'll be forced to have a rigorous routine. I thought I needed that to help me pass the exam. Implementing that routine was tough, but I somehow managed it at the end. But I guess it was too tough that after I got my goal, I unconsciously decided to stop doing everything altogether. And you know what? I actually needed that. I was exhausted, overwhelmed, unmotivated, and I felt so disconnected from other people. I was burned out. Have you ever felt like you're doing a lot but don't feel like you're doing enough? Yep, I've been there too. Before the exam, I solved plenty of physics problems, studied for my courses, taught classes, did work in the lab, made content, and the cycle went on every single week. This was my routine for months. I did a lot of things, I poured so much energy into my work, yet there's this nagging sense that it's not quite enough. And so I overworked myself. I didn't feel it at first since I've already built some momentum, but after I stopped, all the fatigue suddenly came rushing into me. Now, have you ever felt guilty for enjoying yourself right before an important day in your life? Well, that's what I've always felt before the exam. It's like I do not deserve to go out, have fun, and be happy unless I pass it. But after everything, it felt like a huge boulder had finally come off my shoulders. I took a step back and rested. I was finally able to run around freely and do whatever I wanted. I was finally able to travel and go out with my friends guilt-free. I reconnected with people and became more active and social. I took a break and cut down my consumption of media. I was living in the moment, indulging in the beauty of now. This fast-paced world requires people to cope with all the hustle and bustle. But ultimately, this is not sustainable, and keeping up with the hustle culture can lead to self-destruction. And so I realized that, like in physics, being in a state of equilibrium is important. Having the right balance of hustling and knowing when to take things slow is important in leading a more fulfilling life. Of course, I'm still in the middle of trying to get that perfect balance myself, but I think that having this mindset will be beneficial for me in the long run. For me, embracing a slow life meant simplifying my daily routine. I overworked myself too much to the point that doing the things I'm passionate about has become like a chore. Constantly rushing and multitasking overwhelms me and only adds to my stress. So I began to simplify my life, decluttering not just my physical space but also my mental space. I focused on meaningful activities and relationships rather than taking in too much. Are you even a PhD student? One of my roommates once asked me this after seeing me just hanging around in the living room while watching Going 17. This question typically annoys me, but now I wouldn't even care less. Because taking a little step back from the overwhelming work in grad school doesn't make me less of a PhD student. In fact, I find it essential to keep my sanity amidst the looming deadlines. As somebody who's goal oriented, diving full deep into a slow life is not ideal for me. Suppose we're on a journey and we're riding a car at a slow, steady rate, or in physics terms, with zero acceleration. Well, that would be a very nice and a very laid back ride, right? But getting to our destination will take so much time. So maybe we can do a fast, steady rate. Sure, we can do that, but that'll be a risky ride, especially since the road we're taking is rather bumpy, has a lot of ups and downs, and we have to make decisions left and right. So now what? Well, for me, our journey in life is just a matter of knowing when to speed up, step on the brakes, slow down, stop, refill, and continue. It's basically a cycle. Looking back, I realized that this is the basic structure of my circle of life. Of course, this is an oversimplified version because I always fall in a rut in between. For those of us who thrive in goals, the process of setting and achieving objectives brings a sense of purpose and direction. However, the moments between these goals can feel like we're adrift, lacking the focus that drives us. This cycle of motivation, achievement, and the inevitable rut can be exhausting, but it's also a sign that we're constantly pushing ourselves to grow and evolve. Embracing the rut can be a great way to reflect on what we truly want and to remind ourselves of our milestones in life. Dividing our goals into smaller fragments can also make the journey toward it less burdensome. Appreciating the journey and being mindful of the present from time to time would make it more memorable. And most importantly, being around people who not only share the same goals but also offer encouragement and support would make everything more bearable. This journey is tough, but I believe that we'll eventually find that balance and fulfillment in the ebb and flow of this so-called life. How we live our lives is entirely up to us. Whether you prefer to go fast, slow, or enjoy a mix of both, the choice is yours. But the question is, how can we make this life truly worth living? It isn't just about ticking off tasks and achieving goals. It's about embracing the journey, savoring the moments in between, and cherishing the memories we create along the way. And if life gets tough and you ever feel burnt out, cool down and take time until you finally find the courage and strength to ignite the remaining embers and rekindle that burning flame that you have inside.